and that was actually something that was put to us when we were writing the record. It was suggested that we explore, that we don't just do. We're a band who have done 2 albums full of like 3.5-minute songs, because we're thinking about radio and we're thinking about videos and singles and all that sort of stuff. But when it came to doing this record, we approached it completely differently, and nothing was off the table, I guess. So we started working on a song that we later dubbed The Epic, because of how long it was and how kind of up and down it was. And it's a song called Make It Out Alive, and it lures you into a false sense of security at the start, because it starts off with pianos and super soft singing, and then all of a sudden, bang, you got drums, you got big fat dirty guitar riff, and I think that for me is kind of the exciting thing about that song, is that like out of nowhere it just completely does a 180 and it goes completely in the opposite direction. And like you say, you could argue that it's the heaviest moment of the record, and it starts off as like one of the most kind of serene and peaceful moments of the record. And then again, it's another song where there were very many iterations of the song. There was probably 4 or 5 different versions of the song, and they all went in different directions. And that was the good thing about it, is that it was so kind of fluid in the way that the song was structured that it could have gone anywhere. So it was kind of like trying to pick your favorite. Do we go even heavier? Do we go softer? Do we, do we put that part there or there? And it was a good exercise to do, and interesting, because we'd never given ourselves kind of that much time in one song, like 5 minutes or however long the track actually ended up being.
I think in a way as well, it kind of sums up the album in one song. Like, it starts all tranquil and nice, and then it's got the heavy moments, and it's just one epic song, like rolled in, like it's the whole album rolled into one almost.
Yeah, it's like you've got kind of like, but it's like tapas, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like you're all sat around and you've got a mixture of everything, and you get like a bite of every track of the record in one song.
Which sums up the album. Are we going to make it out alive, kind of thing?
Yeah, it's true.
What we thought during COVID times, but yeah, it's like you say. It's just that riff for me. I think of it as like the Godzilla riff, because it starts off really nice, and then you got the riff come in, and you got like on the guitar we've done this like a siren sound. It just reminds me of like Godzilla just coming through the city and just destroying stuff. And yeah, I love it. I think as well, it's long, but for me, it doesn't get to the point where you're like, okay, enough, end the song. It keeps progressing and it keeps building and it keeps, taking you on this journey. And I think that's what I really like about it, and how it turned out was, although it's a long song, it doesn't really feel like it. It just feels like this epic thing. And yeah, I think it turned out well.
Yeah. And I think, again, sort of going through the journey of there's probably about like 4 or 5 different styles in the song, and that was something that we really wanted to explore. And it's a challenge trying to put it all and make it make sense. That was the challenge, making it flow, because like I said, we've got the really sort of like nice sounding stuff, and then the really dirty sounding stuff, and then the breakdown, and then the halftime, and then trying to get all that to be kind of served up into a 5-minute track, and it still makes sense, and not, like you said, doesn't sound odd. It just flows like that was something to be proud of, I think. And when we first sort of got the rough outline of that, Robin was like super proud. She was like, "Oh, Mom, listen to this. This is what we've been working on today."
Yeah, for the next week, Mom was like, "Down at the bottom."
She was literally every morning. She's like, "Have you?" She thought the song was called "Down at the Bottom" for quite a while. You're gonna call it "Down at the Bottom"? No, Make It Out Alive. Why?
I don't like that.
Why are you calling it that when it's apparent it needs to be down at the bottom?
The lyrics I can remember is "Down at the Bottom," so that's what it needs to be called, "Down at the Bottom."
So yeah, like, so it was one that you were super proud of.
Yeah.